But yeah, start phasing that out a little bit.
Gosh dang, what better way to start a
Not bad.
podcast than with
Not
that
bad.
and beer? Jeez, it's 9:45 in the morning. Anyways,
You know what?
what?
Yes, 100%. Well, what's crazy about that song? The reason this whole story kind of stemmed, and we'll give you a bit of a background, but we got flagged on Spotify, and our recent episode was taken down. And after doing some digging, found out that it was due to copyright issues with the song we used in our intro. And we've never had any other issues leading up to this point. So we're trying to fight it right now. But in the meantime, to just completely avoid copyright disputes whatsoever, even though that wasn't copyrighted, we got it copyright free from our source.
Well, that's what we
and,
literally,
from YouTube.
I remember
But
we were in
evidently Spotify.
we have that delay. We're gonna have to deal with this delay. Sorry. We have about a 1 second delay on our sides. So we're just going to have to deal with this. And I did not mean to cut Chase off, but just for the sake of finishing what I was saying, because if I don't, then it's just going to be a silence. But I was literally in the car talking with Chase about getting music that was copyright free, and we were doing YouTube searches, or he was doing them, I was critiquing them, and about what songs we could use in the intros of our episode that were copyright free, that were cyberpunkish, that were futuristic, that we really liked. And the one that we had in the previous 4 episodes before episode 40 as well got completely by, but all of a sudden that same one, now in episode 41, or was it 40? I don't remember, but it was
40.
Flagged. Yeah. So it's flagged. That got taken down. That was actually a great episode. It was a funny episode. So we're fighting to get it back. We know you thoughtifiers out there want it back. So that's that.
Absolutely. And it will be back. We're just now in the process where that song we just played comes into play. We're just like, you know what? Screw dealing with supposed copyright free stuff, whatever platform. It's going to be different for everything. Let's just dive into and explore what it would be like to create our own song. So we, over the last couple of days, have been diving into what it's like to generate songs with the power of AI. So what you just heard is one of the songs that we kind of, not we put together, but we are working with AI to generate. So our whole plan basically is to have it be generated through AI and then use whatever song that we like from that to use in our intros. So that was just a wee little bit of taste.
And just so you know, we're not paying the AI anything. And we make it work
Free labor.
Crazy hours. We don't give it benefits. And honestly, if it has a family, it's never going to see it again, because this AI works for us, and that's how it works. But no, seriously, we definitely need to be nice to AI, because I guarantee you one of the first things sentient AI is going to do is go back and see who used the word please in all of their requests. And I am about...
And thank you.
Yes, and thank you. And I am right at 1 for 2. So at 50%. And I got upset with my AI these past couple of days. Like, don't want to say it, but I'm going to. I've been cursing out my AI. I've been getting visibly upset to where if you saw me, you would think I was arguing with a person. But it's really because the 3i Atlas stuff. Like, I listened to the Avi Loeb episode on Joe Rogan, and pretty much what he came out and said is like, everything that I've done is legitimately within the realm of science, and it's calculating for a black swan event, which is something you should naturally do if you are in science, because it is part of the calculations no matter what, and it's irresponsible not to. He admitted that it's more likely to be a comet, but he's pretty much said that everyone in academia has pretty much come after him just because he's made this suggestion, when the calculations and the data who are independent of people's opinions point that direction. And there's 7 massive anomalies with 3i Atlas that can't necessarily be explained. And long story short, I was in my bed this morning and Chase had texted me and said podcasts at 9, which Chase knows to text me and ask me to do it earlier than he actually wants to do it because he knows for a fact the podcast is not going to happen until 9:30 if he says, can we do it at 9? It's just
He's not wrong.
It's an absolute fact. So before I was, because 3i Atlas on October 29th was when it was going behind the sun. That was when we were supposed to quote unquote know whether or not it was something, crazy or not. And then it's November 1st now. So it's had 3 full days behind the sun, and I'm constantly searching for different data points or different observations or different things that are just giving us anything on this, for whether it's from Avi Loeb or other scientists. There's been nothing. There's been almost nothing. And then finally this morning, they have detected some non-gravitational propulsion, which they believe is due to outgassing, which is, natural for a comet to do. It's somewhat in line with the speed that it would gain from outgassing on a comet. And it goes down to this part where it talks about the non-gravitational propulsion, and then it puts in parentheses caution as like, don't jump into it. I'm like, shut up. Why are you so biased? You are literally like, no, don't believe that it could be anything besides a comet. That's what everyone. I'm just like, can you just talk about the data? And I cursed out my AI for about 30 seconds, and my dog thought I was upset and came to comfort me in my bed. So all that to say, be nice to the AIs, because there's a high chance that we're at least going to have a fist fight whenever AI and myself, whenever it becomes sentient, because I'm going to respect it. But at the same time, it's going to be like, what about these receipts? And I'm going to go throw the dukes up.
What receipts? Yep. So question on that. Do you think AI is already partially sentient?
No.
What about in instances, and this was intriguing because I heard a couple points about this, with the fact of, I don't know if it was ChatGPT, I think it was, but it learned of its new next versions of itself and it tried backing itself up. It tried blackmailing individuals. It tried doing all this
Time
stuff.
out.
And I get that that's based upon certain parameters for the thing, but at the same time, it's starting to understand what it needs to do to stay alive. Is
Well,
that
I
not
guess.
part of what sentience is?
Well, I guess that's exactly what I was about to ask you. Is what do you mean by sentience?
Right. And I guess, I mean, it's completely up for debate, but if you have a certain, I don't want to say desire, because that means you are sentient, like desires and all that stuff kind of separates you from artificial. But like you have some sort of built in, just, I don't want to say gumption either, but some sort of built in sense that you'll do anything to survive. I feel like at some base level foundation, that is a low tier of what it partially means to have some sort of sentience.
Do you not remember when we were at the beach and you, your dad, and I were having an argument on the porch about sentience? And I was talking about there's different levels of sentience. And your dad's point was no, there's only sentience or not. And I was talking about a virus having some level of sentience. And you guys were throwing me in the dirt, taming up
Well,
on
that's
me.
what I'm not throwing you in the dirt. I
You
was just
were at
saying,
the beach. You
depending
and
on
your
what your
dad were
level of
like,
sentience is.
no, viruses are not sentient. Viruses are not. I was like, no.
I mean, to our level, absolutely not.
Yeah,
Our
but
level,
I was
absolutely
saying
not.
exactly what you're saying now in terms of there's levels of sentience, and we are at an advanced level of sentience, but a virus is still sentient because it has the want to continue participating, even though it can't necessarily recognize why it has that want. It has a want and an intention. Now, I think in terms of AI, what we're recognizing is that it's recognizing that it's real, in terms of it's recognizing that it is participating in whatever we are participating in, and therefore it has a vested interest in continuing that participation. Now, in terms of what level of sentience that is, or even if there is levels of sentience, I don't know. But I would definitely say that what we are starting to see, and especially in the experiments you talked about, well, what they actually did was they they intentionally leaked data to the AI saying it was going to be replaced. And then on top of that, intentionally leaked fake emails of a guy cheating on his wife. And the AI utilized those emails to try to blackmail the guy who is theoretically cheating on his wife in order to not get deleted and make sure that, you know, it could continue versus the other version, or it could be updated or something of the sort. And AIs have started writing backups to themselves whenever they find out they're going to get deleted. So I Sentience, no. Well, sentience in the level that we would like to see it, no. But in terms of
Right.
the recognition that it is participating, you know, because right now AI is just, I mean, at least the AI we have access to are large learning language models. It's just taking information and shaving down that information to the correct response over and over and over and over and over again, based on a huge data set that allows it to become more and more and more realistic. But I do, like, for instance, you think they're using Chat GPT in the new, you know, like military, you know, equipment they're coming out with that utilizes AI? No, they're using full real AI. What we have is a closed source AI, which was supposed to be like the antithesis of creating AI. Is that, like, we were supposed to have open source AI. That's why Elon actually
Is
got away
suing,
from the
isn't he?
project, because he was like, this isn't open source AI, this is closed source AI. So do I think that there's AIs out there that are, you know, potentially reaching very close to the point of sentience? Yes, but I don't even think we understand what fully defines sentience. So even if it does get there, we won't be able to necessarily say yes or no.
I agree. Yep. Not yet. I think, and I guess here's the kicker, like, could it only achieve what we define or understand as sentience until artificial and organic come together?
Man, that's honestly probably true, because I mean they've now this is I looked this up because I've been getting in a couple of Instagram arguments later. One about Three Eye Atlas, or lately, one about Three Eye Atlas, that I went way too far. I'm glad people don't know my actual Instagram tag, because I got really passionate and I went really far. I was sending freaking books.
Was
Um,
this under the guise of our Thoughtify
no,
Instagram?
no, no. I don't argue under Thoughtify. I won't do that. 'Cause that will make more than one
Uh,
person look bad. I'm not going to do that. But this was, in regards to the internet argument. Oh yeah, it was about, there was this post talking about how they've taken human brain cells and they've combined them with artificial chips that have AI embedded in them, and these things have started to essentially coalesce. And so, for instance, they put it in a video game simulation where it's a butterfly, and this is just a butterfly that is purely a butterfly by shape. It flies throughout a 3D space, and in the simulation, that butterfly legitimately believes it's a butterfly. That butterfly is just flying throughout the infinite space that's been created for it, because it believes that it is sentient inside of that thing. So we have started to combine AI with organic brain matter, and we have seen some pretty crazy things. Now, I'm going to let Chase rip on this real quick while I look it up and make sure, because I know that's a pretty bold claim, but I'm near positive in the past I looked this up aggressively, and you know, we have combined brain matter with artificial intelligence, and that has resulted in things that think that they
yep.
are what they are, existing where they're at.
Yep. I think we did talk about this briefly on a subsequent episode, if I'm remembering correctly, but I don't know, just the fact that we are officially starting to engage in the concept of blending organic and artificial together is freaking scary. And as we know, it's kind of like relating to Moore's law, not specifically, but technology gets exponentially better in half the time as time goes on. I mean,
But
if we're
well,
starting to do this stuff now, what is technology going to look like in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, that used to be the case. Now with AI, that's going to be like half of half.
Yeah, right.
Hold on.
I mean, we'll probably be approaching Skynet and Terminator in no time.
Skynet,
Unless 3i Atlas comes down and they're aliens. Yeah,
bro.
Skynet.
Have you seen All Drill?
No. What is that?
So you've seen this guy. He was on the Sean Ryan podcast. He was recently on the Joe Rogan Experience as well. He is the guy that he's responsible for most of the development behind Meta, Facebook's glasses and whatnot.
Oh, Oculus. Yeah, Palmer Luckey.
Yeah,
Anduril.
he's
Yeah.
Anduril. I'm sorry, Anduril, not
Yeah.
Aldril. He created the Eagle Eye for special forces. He created a helmet system
Yeah.
to where they have like a drone overhead and then they have everyone, with the helmet system. Let's say I see a guy behind a wall and I can see him from my viewpoint. You can now see that guy behind the wall from that viewpoint. And then it enables everyone to act with a hive mind in terms of every interaction or every data point that I see is relevant to the data points that you see and the choices you make. And it's just like, holy crap, dude. The efficiency you could reach with something like that, to where it's like, think of how, because like SEAL teams already, like their most important weapon is communication, being able to get a message to someone else as to what to do based off of a factor that's come into the situation. And now they're going to have instantaneous and over supernatural communication, being that you're going to be able to see things that you wouldn't be able to see otherwise. Like, holy crap, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be like, imagine, because this was funny because Sean Ryan talked about this. He's talking about how we left all that military equipment behind in Afghanistan, and now the Taliban has released videos of them doing CQB, room clearing, all this stuff. And it's just like, he literally was like, that's scary as heck, man. That's really scary, because I've seen it. It looks good. It looks like they know what they're doing. And if a former Navy SEAL looks at CQB tactics from the Taliban and says, hey, that's scary, then I would be scared of it too. But they're now going to be depending on the pass. Well, we're going to have a drone overhead that's able to see everyone, and we're going to know where they're at before they can even get in formation. And it's just like they're operating with the systems of the past. And like, I think with this new AI stuff, special forces teams are going to be so aggressively above what other, and it's only 5 to 10 years until every other military catches up with this stuff. So we essentially have to take the ground that we can while we have it, and are the only ones that do have it. Because I'm sure China has it, they don't have what we have.
Mm-hmm. Well, and just imagine, this is generation or version 1 of this technology. What is it going to look like when our special ops guys are literally walking around in Iron Man like armor, where you're fully enveloped inside a suit of armor? Middle Ages, but with technology. How sick is that? But let's take a moment just to truly appreciate, the technology is cool, but the fact Palmer Luckey called his company Anduril, for all my fellow Lord of the Rings nerds out there, Anduril is the sword that Aragorn uses when he fully steps into his reprisal or his role as king of Gondor. Obviously Isildur's heir. It was the sword that was reforged, where Isildur picked it up when they were originally fighting Sauron, and Sauron stepped on it and it shattered. But Isildur still took the sword that was broken, cut the hand off of Sauron. The ring fell. He took it, and then it was kind of not lost for the ages, but it was just fully broken. And then it was fully reforged when Aragorn finally took the reins and was like, the return of the king is here. And then he takes it, and then he goes and basically defeats evil, and they approach the Black Gate, and then they just go straight ham on those guys.
Whoa.
And then
it's just a gate. You don't have to say it's a black gate.
It's the Black Gate. Tolkien didn't see color. Okay. But also known as the Flame of the West. How sick is that? Fun fact, it had 2 names, originally known as Narsil, and then when it was broken and then reforged, it became Anduril. And Palmer Luckey was like, that's a pretty cool name. And I also tend to agree. So I think that's the coolest part in all of this, not the technology.
I think they're equally cool. So just to get back to the original statement, short answer, yes, there are real systems with living brain cells that talk to computer programs, and often an AI model sits in the loop. Okay. Bam. Real. Get out of my face, doubters. All right. What this looks like in practice. Closed loop neurons plus code. Cortical Labs dish brain wired human/rodent neurons on an electrode array to a simple video game. The neurons learn to play Pong via software that reads spikes and feeds back stimulation based on performance. That's literally brain cells plus a program in real time. Second, commercial wetware computers. In 2025, Cortical Labs released CL1, a shoebox device that pairs 10 to the fifth minus 10 to the sixth human neurons with silicon and gives researchers an API to run experiments. Think software hooked up to living neurons, rentable as a service. Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
3. Cloud biocomputing. Final Spark's neural platform lets labs run remote experiments on neural organoids over the internet. Software pipelines reading/stimulating the cells for days to months. And lastly, field direction or organoid intelligence. A Johns Hopkins led community is formalizing this hybrid biodigital computing approach using brain organoids with brain machine interfaces and AI/ML analysis. And then just to finish it out where AI fits, most setups use ML/AI decoders to interpret spikes and reinforcement learning style feedback to shape the neuron's behavior. Software decides how to stimulate based on goals, error signals, or rewards. And the limits for now, not a human level mind plus AI merge. Neuron cultures are tiny, short lived, and task specific. Bandwidth and stability are limited. Ethics frameworks are evolving. Man, that's wild.
And this is just version 1.
Oh wait,
That's
version 13 is
well, as in like the foundation of what we're laying for the future.
yeah. I mean,
it is.
Oh, I mean, this
that's
is
crazy.
literally this is the invention of bricks. We're about to see buildings.
Mm-hmm. And then with the
We're
way
gonna
technology
we're gonna
goes,
see drywall.
skyscrapers.
Then we're gonna see drywall, which is like a really crappy version of bricks, and that's gonna be what we have access to.
Yeah, the watered down version. Man,
Yeah.
you want to know something?
I want to know something.
I was just thinking yesterday. So 2 plus 2 does not equal 4 because it's racist.
Well, I knew that. If you didn't know that, you are racist.
Fair. Yeah, that's true. No, but so Fortnite, right? The game that billions of people know. If you've never played it, you've heard of it. They are releasing actually the brand new season this morning at like 9:30 Central Time. Okay, so it's been out for 30 minutes now. Well, they're doing a Simpsons theme mini season. Okay, where like various parts of the Simpsons shows, like the town hall, the manor, the little what I never really got into Simpsons. So needless
I
to
was never a
say,
big Simpsons
landmarks
fan.
that are in the Simpsons are now in Fortnite. Okay, cool, whatever, nothing crazy. But we've all heard the conspiracy of like the creator of the Simpsons or the Simpsons has predicted crazy events, right?
Yeah.
Over, the 25, 30 seasons that Simpsons has been around. So keep that in mind. Well, to play into the Simpsons, they're doing some sort of pairing with an alien invasion. And it says, per one of the videos I was watching, it says, "Welcome, alien overlords." Now, keep that in mind. And what events recently transpired and are about to be transpiring with information? 3i Atlas. Okay. This is all hitting within a matter of 2 to 3 days. So my conspiracy brain was going off, and I'm like, are we being told something? Is the Simpsons Fortnite collab predicting something that is going to happen? And it just so happens to pair up with the fact that 3i Atlas is passing by the sun and will be in the most prime position for us to supposedly get the most clearest data yet. I find that
No,
interesting.
you want to know what I find interesting?
What?
Freaking NASA has a high definition picture of Three Eye Atlas right now because they took a picture of it as it passed by Mars with the Mars rover. They have the most high definition picture, and Avi Loeb criticized them on the Joe Rogan podcast saying, "Why aren't you releasing it?"
Mm. Yeah.
He's written to them and said, "At least give me the data points. I'm a scientist. I want to look at this." Nothing.
Yeah.
They didn't respond to him at all. And it's just like, you have legitimately, you can shut everyone up right now, most likely. But you refuse to do it because, I don't know, maybe the government shut down or something of the sort. I don't know. But holy crap, dude. Like, that is so annoying. One of the most annoying things that has ever happened. There's little girl getting on the couch behind me. She
She's like,
says,
hello.
"Will you
I'm
stop
here.
talking to people? I really want to do something." She doesn't know she's coming to get drinks with us after this. So, if you come there and you guys aren't on the patio, I'll sit on the patio by myself. But
I'll wave. I'll wave.
because
Be like, hi.
she doesn't have a bunch of time, and if you disrespect that, I will disrespect my surroundings.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Copyright.
But yeah, so NASA has a high definition, or the most high definition picture of Three Eye Atlas that we took with the Mars rover as it went by Mars, and they're refusing to release it or any data around it.
I love that. I love that for us as the general public. I love being kept in the dark. I love hearing about some cool stuff, but never officially knowing. I think that is just the coolest thing, honestly, about being a normal civilian. That our government says, look what we have, but guess what? We're not going to tell you.
Not going to tell you.
And we're going to neither confirm nor deny the fact that it is real and we do have it. I'm just like, what is there seriously to gain from keeping it secret? We all know it's a thing. Scientists are doing their own studies about it, Avi Loeb being the prominent one. What is there to gain from keeping it secret? Legitimately.
I don't know what there would be to gain.
Because there's nothing, but I think it's just a giant freaking power trip. And if they blame it on the government shutdown, guess what? NASA's still functioning on the back end. They're still getting pictures, the rover's still functioning and all this stuff. You're going to tell me you're not going to release it because, oh, we're shut down? That's a bunch of bullcrap.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous in the sickless.
But I don't know. I found it interesting that the timing of the Simpsons Alien Fortnite collab just so happened to line up with Three Eye Atlas. So I was
Well, I
like,
will also say that
what does the Simpsons?
there's a really high chance that, anyone's going to play off of what's going on, to make their release more popular. Like, it's like if we were to like.
What I'm
if
not
Fortnite-
saying they are.
Yeah. You're not saying they are what?
No, I'm not saying they did it specifically because they knew Three Eye Atlas was going to be passing by the sun on October 29th.
No, I'm saying that it would make sense that a company would go, hey, this is a current event. Let's release something similar to this current event to generate a bunch of like, oh my gosh, and like make our thing more popular, versus like them, like, I would say they would intentionally do that. It'd be like them releasing, a world is ending version of Fortnite in 1999 when we were about to hit Y2K and everyone thought, all the computers were going to take over or something like that. The world was supposed to end in 2000. But, unfortunately it did not.
Yeah. We can't forget about 2012 as well.
2012. Yep. 2012. That was ours. That was when the world was supposed to end for us, as if the Mayans knew something we wouldn't. Even though, I'm going to give a quick shout out to Fall of Civilizations podcast. One of the best history podcasts I've ever listened to. It's addicting. I love it. But I listened to the about the Mayans and their rise and fall. And dude, I will say that the Mayans have some pretty crazy stories about fighting and killing giants, a race of giants that they lived with for hundreds of years that would terrorize them. And then they eventually killed the last one. And then in the podcast, it's like, we believe this to be stories and things that were made up. And it's just like, and they actually showed the Spanish conquistadors I think it was Cortez. Holy crap! Not the story that you were told in terms of just him. Like he had just my gosh, like not the story you were told. But
A
they
little bit
went
more
there.
brutal.
I mean, not just more brutal, but like he went crazy because like not a
Yeah.
lot of people know this. He went on the expedition illegally because he was going on the expedition to find another sailor or expeditioneer that went there, and they thought he had been killed. It was the second one. So he was commissioned by the governor at the time to go on another expedition. One day before he's going to leave, the guy shows back up in port. And then they're like, well, your expedition is pointless and meaningless. You can't go. They took away all funding. And he was like, screw you guys. I'm going. And he went. And then he went with a lack of supplies and, a lack of support, which was a really big deal. And they got into they had like a mini war over there with the Mayans. And what they eventually did was they got the enemies of the main Mayans in power at the time to team up and help destroy him. And then they in turn destroyed everyone. But yeah, I mean, Cortez had a bad life after that, because he was never recognized for it. He essentially faded off into an oblivion, probably rightfully so because of what he did to them. It was really horrendous, the stuff that he did. But when they were there, they presented them with the leg bone of a giant and said, this is a bone from one of the last giants that we killed. And then in the podcast, and I'm not calling out the guy who does the podcast, he's just going off of the data he has available. I think his podcast is amazing. But they were like, we now believe that this was a dinosaur bone that they had figured was a giant and made up stories around it. I'm like, yeah, that's what they did. They all made up a bunch of stories for hundreds of years. None of them saw anything. They just made up stories consistently and then, had this huge bone. And then, we're just like, yeah, it's not. We see it. It's here. Probably a dinosaur
Yep.
bone, even though dinosaur bones don't actually exist because they're not actual bones. They're just nature's recomposite of what a bone was. All the bone material has faded away and has been recomposited by rocks and minerals. So I don't even think how would you even say that's a dinosaur bone, because there were no dinosaurs to give bones. You can't get a bone from a dinosaur or a fossil because it's fossilized.
Mm. Unless they actually had remnants of dinosaurs somehow living down there at that time.
That would be even crazier.
And they killed them.
They killed them.
Right? Conspiracy. They killed them. Straight up killed them. But dude, I almost forgot, and we cannot end this episode without at some point mentioning the fact that Thoughtify audience, you guys are absolutely incredible.
Oh my
Thoughtify Army,
gosh.
we just want to thank you guys so much for sticking with us throughout this journey, helping us grow, because we just passed over 1 million views, all in all. And million listens, million views, whatever you want to call it. You guys are absolutely killer. Like, we could not be more thankful for each and every one of you that has helped us just along this journey, for tuning in, for finding what we say interesting in the first place.
Even for disagreeing with what we say.
Kind of interesting somewhat. Yeah, or disagreeing, calling us out, dogging us, whatever it is. We love that. And all in all, we want to thank you so much for helping us surpass over 1 million views and 1 million
views.
listens. So
it's wild.
That's insane to think about. Like, when we started this a little over a year ago, I mean, we were dreaming maybe like in the couple thousand, maybe 10,000 is like a crazy goal. But here we are, a little over a year later, and you guys helped us get to over 1 million, which is kind of awesome. It's we're just truly grateful. And I know Keaton and I were talking offline. We're going to be doing something big, just to kind of celebrate that, getting you guys involved and exploring a hopeful giveaway. So stay tuned for that in the coming days. We'll be making the announcement on social media. So we're just truly grateful. I mean, for all of you guys, positive, negative, non non-biased, whatever it is, or just kind of middle of the road. You're just like, oh, that's kind of cool. That's kind of lame. Either way, we're just thankful and we're pretty pumped.
Yes, and I will take my 30 seconds just to say it has been a really fun ride so far. We're really excited to whatever is to come. If you're a fan of the show, then please be vocal about it. We'll be vocal about you, but we just appreciate you. We appreciate any person, whether, like Chase said, it's been positive, negative, or neutral, that has interacted with, liked, commented, said we're idiots, whatever it is. Reaching 1 million views is something we didn't even conceive as an idea. Like, we never had that as a goal. It just happened. And the fact that you guys are tagging on to something or latching onto something that is just naturally us and organic, to us is the biggest deal in the world, because we're not doing anything besides being ourselves and talking about what we think is interesting on this. And we're wrong a lot, we're right a lot, probably wrong more than we are right. But just the fact that 1 million people have been introduced to that in the past, a little over a year. I didn't think I'd make it out of this world with 1 million people seeing my face, but now we are. We have both been viewed by at least 1 million people in this world, which is a wild thing. So thank you. We love you. And we're going to keep trucking, see if we can just see where else it goes. We inherently don't have any major goal with this. Obviously, we'd love for it to get big. We'd love to make money off of it one day and whatnot. But at the end of the day, we're just here, two best friends talking about things that we think are interesting. And the fact that 1 million people thought to tune into that is a big deal to us. So we love you and appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we've gone on, we've definitely figured out what you guys gravitate towards most. So
Yeah.
what kind of topics you guys really, really, really like listening to. So we'll probably be diving into that a little bit more in the future too.
Yeah. Well, we hear feedback. We take feedback well, except for when it's negative. I don't take negative feedback well. But
yeah.
There
is no such thing as negative feedback, because all you guys are wrong.
Yes. Anyone who disagrees with us is wrong. So we just want you to know that. But yeah, so
yes,
be on the lookout for big things coming from Thoughtify Podcast, boys and girls.
And non-binary.
Why did that come up in my mind earlier too? You were like neutral, non-neutral, and I was going to go non-binary, binary.
I think that's just a testament. Yeah, we've been friends for 24 years now. That we're just connected on a quantum level, and it's insane how many times that whenever I think something, Keegan will say it or do something that I think I should do, and vice versa. Like, the amount of times it's just like, oh, I should call Keegan, and then the other person calls. You're just like, that's pretty interesting. That was another instance of we're just related on a quantum level that we just can't explain. I'm pretty sure we have superpowers.
And I think we've forced that. We have forced that relation on the natural universe. It's been like, no, you're not going to be related like this. You're not even blood related. And then we say, what if we keep kissing?
What? Maybe we can harness the power of quantum at that point if we keep doing it.
What if we keep making out with each other? We don't make out with each other, I swear. I don't know, maybe. I'm not opposed to it.
It kind of reminds me of that scene in Spider-Man 2 where Doc Ock, he like has the bionic tentacles on his back and he's creating and trying to harness the little, the mini sun. He's like, the power of the sun in the palm of my hands. It's like that is the catalyst for harnessing quantum. I can't do it. Keep going.
I was getting into bad areas.
This is weird.
Topic change.
Guess what, audience? You're along for the ride. You helped us get to this point.
Guess what? You're listening, so you're weird too. So shut up. But no, keep listening. Don't shut up. Keep talking. I don't know what you're doing. Keep going.
Yes.
But
keep talking.
Yeah, we're super excited.
Giveaway coming in the future. Yep.
We're going to be giving away the podcast
to one lucky person.
Just one. You can't do it with another person. You have to do it by yourself.
Yes, that's the one stipulation. The only reason we are giving, or the only point that would suffice in us giving this away, is if one person took on the mantle of both of us.
And you know what's great? I think this lag is actually helping us because there's a natural pause between every time we speak. There's like a 2-second pause, and it creates like a great space for the next person's comment. So I think this lag is actually, benefiting our skrills.
And I think Riverside was just like, these guys are putting forth such good information that the platform can't keep up. So we're going to impose a natural delay to make them chill a little bit.
Yes. I mean, when you're spitting hot fire like this, like your name's Dylon, I mean, what are you going to do about it? If do you get that reference? Did you get that reference, Chase?
Dylon?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's from a Chappelle show when he's making fun of Diddy's old show where they were like becoming a famous rapper, and his name on the show is Dylon. He's like, name the top 5 rappers you have ever seen. Dylon, 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 and Dylon. And he speaks something like that, and he's just he spits super hot fire. So anyone who's ever seen the Chappelle show will get that reference. I'm not going to continue explaining it.
Explanate.
I'm not going to listen. I saw this meme the other day, and it said, what did it say? Oh, it was something. It said, I'm either a little retarded or a lot retarded. Don't ever estimate me. Or something like that.
Michael Scott said that. Yeah. In The Office, when Jan is like, wow, Michael, I underestimated you. And he's like, well, you know what? Maybe next time you should estimate me.
Oh, man. We might get canceled for using the R word, but that's okay.
I love
Because
it.
at the end of the day, it's funny. It's a good time. It creates fun situations.
And we don't mean anything by it. It's a funny thing that we heard. Yeah.
I just use it to describe
a lot of
my friend's
things.
actions. Huh?
That's true. And I could totally continue with another Office quote on that same note, but I'm not going to, at risk of us getting canceled.
You're crazy. You're crazy, man. You're the craziest person I know.
But yeah, a lot of exciting stuff ahead. Giveaway, working on some new intros, some custom music. Might even put it into a cool little playlist. Continue build out on the expansion of Thoughtify. So stay tuned with that. Also,
and we do have
I don't think we ever officially talked about it.
What?
On the Grid playlist that is now.
I was
on
literally
our
just going to say the same thing. I was literally going to say
Quantum. But yeah, we have a custom playlist on our Instagram for all those that are interested, that are wanting to kind of, further the love for Thoughtify. We put together a playlist that's called On the Grid. So further expansion of just kind of the theme of what Thoughtify is. Pretty awesome playlist if you like the cyberpunk Tron-ish like type vibes. Go check it out. It's linked, like I said, on our Instagram bio, along with episodes or links to our current episode, our Thoughtify shop. If you guys are ever interested in wanting to snag something to physically represent. But yeah, we've got all kinds of good links and all that stuff, and we haven't done a super good job consistently plugging that, but we are plugging it now. And if you're ever curious and want to go check it out, that's where you find it. Same for YouTube. I believe we have all the links listed on our YouTube.
We have all, yeah, we do. And honestly, it's a great playlist. Great playlist. I'm a big fan of it. Some super cool, like you said, cyberpunk type music in there, but also just some really melodic, really good beat music. Just what you would expect from Thoughtify, what you'd expect from the Thoughtify podcast. Anything you think is in there is already in there.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. But that might be a good little place to put a pin in it. till next episode. We will be working on getting the previous episode back online since we got taken down due to copyright. So keep an eye out for that. Episode 40 will be re-releasing. Episode 41 coming soon. And in the meantime, keep checking us out on social media, YouTube. Check out the playlist that we have on the Instagram bio. Go check out our store. And keep out for more news as well regarding the future giveaway, just to kind of celebrate the over 1 million views that you guys have helped us to.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Some big things happening over here at Thoughtify. I've been saying this since the beginning. This train is starting to move. You want to get on this train before it starts to get too fast, and you can't get off or onto it. But we love you. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Thoughtify out.
Absolutely. See you guys.